me going at it with some of the producers that longtime listeners will remember from that program back in the day. I guess on that day I had done a prank phone call to Answers in Genesis. And then from 2006, the Sam Cedar Show, Catherine Harris in studio. Members will know her as Janine Garofalo. So we have that for you, and we will be back live on Monday. I don't know whether or not I'm going to still be in L.A., and it may be a Matt and Mike Monday, or it may be a Sam Monday. At the very least, I'll definitely be back by Tuesday. In the meantime, enjoy this.
We are back on the Majority Report, Air America Radio. My name is Sam Cedar. Janine is not with us tonight. She may come in a little bit later. She borrowed my TiVo and is watching my marathon of According to Jim tonight. She just wanted to catch up on the storylines. Now,
this place is
in
a mess.
studio, hey, take it easy for a second. Let me introduce you properly. Things have already gotten a little bit heated in here. As you may know, Mark Maron is one of the hosts of Morning's Edition with Mark Riley in the morning, 6 to 9 a.m. on Air America Radio. And Mark and I have known each other for quite some time. Apparently, Mark listened to my interview that was on the AirAmericaRadio.com website.
Yeah, I think I might have been the only one, as you suggested on the thing.
Well, it's possible. I mean, I knew you would listen to it because you seem to follow my career and what I do artistically and even in publicity-wise with, I'm going to be generous, with an odd intensity. And hold on, let me just set it up for a second.
Well, gee, how long is it going to take?
Well,
all right, go ahead. All right, no, take your time. I've never listened to the show. I don't know what pace you operate.
Well, this is the second time you've been on our show.
Yeah,
We've been good enough to invite you. I don't ever remember receiving an invite onto your show, but that's fine. Now, and you come in here, you say, hey, you got your 15th pair of glasses, whatever the comment was. I don't know.
But that was after you said that thing about my hair. You know, I'm not gonna play these trivial the games with you. And by the way, in the fridge, is that your beer and Red Bull? I mean, that's everybody's fridge downstairs. I don't know what you guys think you're doing a little party time up here, but we work in the morning.
It's not mine.
What?
That's not mine.
All right,
I don't drink Red Bull.
All right,
Now, all right, let's listen to what you had to say today. This is number one.
Can we play yours first?
Well, wait a second. Let's listen to what you had to say today. Listen, number one.
Look, I've known Sam Cedar since he was 7, and just because he spent 45 minutes talking about me on an interview that he did on Sedition, the newsletter at AirAmericaRadio.com, that's his problem. But he's accusing me of being jealous of him, of being competitive with him. Yet he spends an hour and a half talking about me on the newsletter.
All right, so you're saying I spent an hour and a half talking to him?
At least. I mean, they cut it down. I mean, I talked.
Yeah. I mean. Right. Do you want to play? What did I do? I spent a lot of time talking. I mean, I don't want to play gotcha here, but you want to hear the interview?
No, I heard the part that they put on the website.
Let's hear it. All right, you got that clip?
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen to this clip.
Who's the Caboose, the film I made, received so many awards and critical acclaim.
And so, how has your relationship been with other personalities at Air America?
Great. I have total respect for everybody on the network. I look up to a lot of them.
What do you think of Rachel Maddow?
Rachel Maddow is a great pro. I mean, she comes up from Northampton, does a show, and I think she's a real talent.
And Randy?
Randy Rhoads, of course, she's the queen of radio, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I think, I'll tell you something, if I wasn't married, she's a Jewish girl, I'll tell you something would have happened.
And you must have a lot of respect for Al and his show.
Al, of course, was one of my heroes as a kid from a comedic perspective. I mean, I like everyone. Right. Mike Malloy is terrific. I go home after our show and listen to his show.
Yeah.
I love Mark Riley on in the morning.
What about Mark Maron?
He's jealous of me a little bit, but everybody on the network.
No, wait a minute.
That's it. Now.
That is not what I heard, Sam.
Well, see, that is my point, is that you have this intensity about me that I'm convinced that you did hear what you wanted to hear. Now, Now today, okay,
Yeah.
you went on to talk about now.
Okay.
Now, why would I say that you're jealous? Okay, about me. I want to play a couple of clips.
Well, let's be honest, sir. Let's go back.
right.
Let's go back a few years to Boston when a young, scared Sam would go on stage and try and do comedy and fail because he was trying too hard. And it was sad. It was uncomfortable. And you'd come up to me and say, what do I need to do, Mr. Maron? And I'd say, well, maybe you should write some jokes, Sam, if you want to be funny. And he'd be like, well, that's not really what I'm about. I'm not trying to do jokes. I'm trying to do something different. And I would say, well, how about being funny when you do that? And you're like, you don't really get it. And then you just sort of disappeared and faded away.
Right.
All right. And then you show up in San Francisco, sad Sam in San Francisco, living in the Mission by himself, coming over to my house.
I had roommates. Yeah,
I know. Well, I didn't want to bring that up, but if you want to bring that up, yeah, you had to live with many people because not only were you psychologically vulnerable, but you couldn't afford to.
That's right.
And I understand. So you'd come over and I'd feed you and I'd help you out and I'd say, Sam, how's the comedy going? And you'd be like, I don't know. I can't. I don't know what I want to do. And then I'd take you to gigs with me and I'd try to help you out. I don't know where you're getting this jealousy.
Well, you see, I think this actually sets the table quite well because you're talking about you're talking about a time that was about 14 years ago. And
Really?
Then, 14 years ago, actually. Yeah.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, when we get into the 10 years ago, the 8 years ago, 9 years ago, my career takes off. And that is the only reason why I can explain why I hear, when we listen to your show, I hear things like this. Let's play number 3. This is off your show in the morning.
I am jealous of Sam Cedar. Come on.
And I say stuff like that.
When did that happen? Did you cut that up?
What do we would cut that up?
I am jealous of Sam Cedar.
That's right.
That seems suspect. First of all, there's revisionism going on right here. Yeah, you were supposed to. I thought you were about the truth.
Hold on, buddy.
All right.
Hold on now for a second.
All right.
My career takes off. That's true. When I started comedy,
Yeah.
you had been in it for at least, I think, 10, 15, 20 years.
No.
And I came in as a young kid, and of course, when when someone's got 10 years on you in the business, you look up to that guy.
Right.
And then things got awkward when my career basically zoomed by yours. I mean, let's play number 4.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I'm envious of Sam Cedar. Wait, now what is that?
It's very strange.
Now let me.
Makes me feel uncomfortable to hear these things.
All right. Look, I understand what you're doing here, Sam. Now, what I want to talk to you about is when did it take off exactly? Now, I remember that you started hanging around with famous people. All right, and then you sort of align yourself with them. Then you became this filmmaker, right? You're a filmmaker.
That's correct.
But as I recall, because you have involved me in 2 of your movies because of your respect for me and because of that. Yeah, I think secretly.
A little bit of guilt.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
it is a little bit.
No, let's be
I
honest.
that.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
A little
you
bit.
said Maron is a certain type of talent. I have a lot of respect for him. I'm going to put him in the film. And in the second film, I think that most of the movie was about me before you cut it. Am I right?
The second film?
The one.
Bad Situations?
The one you couldn't release. Yeah.
Actually, I couldn't release it, but I'm going to be screening that up in Aspen.
You are?
Yes, next week.
And I think that's another reason why I'm mad at you. I mean, not jealous, but that was supposed to be my star vehicle. Had the film
you actually did a great job in that. I directed you beautifully. And I took what was there.
Back up. See, here's what you do. See, you didn't direct me. You come into a Sam Cedar film. This is how you work, Sam. I see
right.
it. It's not a matter of jealousy. This is honest criticism.
I understand.
You're like a cipher person. You have no real personality of your own. So what you do is you align yourself with successful people, and you sort of ride their coattails a little bit. Not like here. I mean, Janine. Well, maybe a little, but what I'm saying is that generally what you would do is you get a bunch of people to do these movies, and we'd show up. Okay, it's time to do the movie. Sam, how about a script? And be like, oh no, there's no script. I have an idea.
All right, well, let's play number 2, what you said today. Let's play number 2.
I can make movies like his. Basically what Sam does is he gets a bunch of his friends together. He says, there's not really a script, but this is the idea. So go ahead, work with it. And then he'll put himself in the movie, so everybody, and then he takes credit for it. Like he's a genius, and he didn't even write a script.
See, Mark, all right, now let me tell you. When I hear that, my first reaction isn't anger. You know what it is? It's sadness.
Yeah.
It's sadness, because I hear that, and I juxtapose that with stuff like play number 5.
Oh, I love Sam Cedar. Oh, see that?
And then I also hear stuff like this, number 6.
Yeah. I want to be Sam Cedar. I want to be Sam Cedar.
Now, when I hear that, I just go, no, why can't Mark be happy being Mark?
Isn't that amazing what I can do with my voice sometimes? Like, I wish I could do that now. But
I want to be
Sam Cedar. Really interesting.
Play number 7. This is really sad. This is sad.
I'm just not a guy that can generally commit to things, obviously, for the long haul. I am envious of Sam Cedar. Sam Cedar has become a phenomenal radio personality. He's become a pundit. He's put on a bow tie.
Now, what I hear from you is confusion.
Yeah.
And I feel badly.
Well, there's a couple of things going on here, Sam. Now, clearly, I see that you've done your homework and you're now utilizing the tools of the right to manipulate the media to hurt somebody, to hurt a liberal, to hurt me. Okay, I understand what you're doing, and this is
sensitivity.
Well, of course I'm sensitive. I'm a creative person, unlike you, who is a sycophant who leeches on to popular people. Now, you see, which is fine. That a lot of people have made their careers like that, and I'm sorry that your films didn't take off. And that, no, granted, the TV series was great. What network was on? The Food Network? What network was it?
It was actually on the Trio.
Trio, is it?
Network.
Do you get that here?
The Food Network is sniffing around it, though. I got to tell you.
I'm sure they are, because that's exactly what Sam does. Sam goes, I got a great idea for a food show. Let me just talk to some people and get them interested, and maybe they'll come down, and I'll just have them improvise a recipe, and then I'll take credit for it. I understand.
Right.
I understand what you're doing, and I am sensitive, and I am sometimes insecure. But what you're doing here, let's just be honest.
Well,
okay?
I want to be honest, but then I hear number 3.
Again? Did we hear this already? I am jealous of Sam Cedar.
Now, come on. Why, Mark?
What just happened? What did it just say?
Hit number 3.
Yeah. I am jealous of Sam Cedar.
And then 4.
I am envious of Sam Cedar.
And then number 6. This is disturbing.
I want to be Sam Cedar. God,
isn't so disturbing.
Well, what's really sad is that, clearly when you don't have the other person here in the studio with you, you got to fill a lot of time with me. What if I didn't stop by? What would have happened here? Would we just blog and take some calls? What do you do up here without her?
Well, we would take calls or we would have guests on, and I said, no, listen, Mark was somebody who I really looked up to years and years and years ago before my career surpassed him.
Yeah.
And I if the guy's really upset, I want to help him out.
Yeah.
I want to help him.
Yeah.
And so we brought you in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we should take a call. Should we take a call? 866-303-2270?
Sam, I just, I want you to know that, I think you're really, you're doing the best you can up here.
Right.
And a lot of people appreciate that. And sometimes it sounds good, sometimes it's a little desperate, but I think that, I don't know why you got to bring up. See, on the when I get interviewed for the web, which I don't know if you listen to mine.
I didn't.
Yeah, okay. Well, honestly, I didn't listen to yours until someone brought it to my attention. That 45.
Now he's backing off of what he said just 4 minutes ago.
45 minutes you talk about me, then you cut it up in some little joke. You make a little joke. I'm not the one who's upset. How was being married? Do you like that?
Yeah, I do like being married. We got to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a call. Maybe somebody can resolve this. It's Friday night. Well, I'm just saying.
Oh, it's Friday night. Is there anyone listening?
Shabbat, Jew on Jew. It's the Jew on Jew wars on Shabbat, Friday night.
The Majority Report on Air America Radio. Giving left of the dial a whole new meaning.
We are back on the Majority Report, Air America Radio. Streaming at AirAmericaRadio.com, blogging at MajorityReportRadio.com. Our phone number is 866-303-2270.
A lot of things going on here.
In studio, Mark Maron. We're trying to just clear the air. There's been some tension here at Air America Radio. Maron has been dissing me on the show, and let's go to a call. Let's see what the callers are saying. Line 6, Sean.
I don't think I dissed you. Hi,
Sean?
Hello? Yeah, what's going on? Yeah.
The only reason I'm listening right now is because I heard you say Marin was going to be on later.
Really, Sean? Is this Sean Hannity?
No.
What?
No.
God, no.
All right, Sean. So,
confuse me with that guy. That guy's quite a bit of a liar.
Yeah, that's true, Sean. But it sounds like you're talking out of both sides of your mouth too. I mean, that's the type of riffraff I think that enjoys your show.
What are you talking about? He's obviously listening to your show because he said, well, maybe Marin will make Sam look good because that's how Sam makes a living, by having other people make him look good.
I'm stealing off your cachets.
Well, of course, Sam. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you've tried a lot of things, and I hope this works out for you. I mean, did you sign it on for another couple of years here? Or?
I haven't seen a contract since the day I walked through the door.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
That's nothing that the network has ever said to me.
That's not a good sign. Look, I still remember
9 months.
I still remember. I remember. Weren't you on it? What was that sitcom you did? That's that crazy, wacky thing. That what was it? Dick Van Dyke for black people. What was that thing you did?
Actually, I've been on a lot of sitcoms, Mark.
And what did anywhere?
The show? I think what you're thinking.
Well, no, but where?
Fox, the show.
Okay, right, the show, and then there was another one that failed.
Speaking of failed shows, you were on Stand Up, and then there was like some...
Oh, back up. No, that was short
Microsoft...
attention. That was Short Attention Span Theater.
Oh,
which
right.
ran
that was
for
like
a year.
The second one.
No, it was like the fifth one, actually. I closed the door on that one. I ended the era of Short Attention.